Pretty strong. Okay, well, I gave Rita my membership.
Oh, that's nice. So,
Yeah, well, I don't like him. Oh, there you. All right, let's light Shabbat candles. Elena, would you care to do that? Everyone please rise. Is the mic on?
it's not working right, Paul. Bless you.
Okay, we wave our hands over the candles, bring the Shabbat, and cover our eyes and do the rest. Very much. Shabbat shalom. Seated. All right, this Shabbat, the Torah portion is para. No, it's not. Shabbat morning is Pinchas, something with a pay. Pinchas, about whom I'll be speaking later. And even though he comes down to us as a hero, I personally find him very despicable. That's me. You can't always fit 21st century morality into a cultural system which goes back thousands of years. But I never liked what we call apologias. They offer apologies for how various biblical heroes behaved in a certain way. Samson, for example, he has issues. Let's see, Yiftach, he's another fellow, sacrifices his wife. All of this points to, of course, Mark Twain saying, I don't care if they censor my writings as long as they leave Bibles around for any kid to get a hold of. So, it's not a perfect book. It's important, it teaches morality, but it also tells us how not to live. Page 13. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Koachem v'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Lie, 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 lie. Yeah, lie, 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 yeah, lie, 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 yeah, lie, 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 lie. Arvi v'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tekel Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mimelech, Malchei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Turn now to page 14 for Yedid Nefesh. It is based more or less on the Song of Songs. The allegorical interpretation of the Song of Songs is that God is the lover, Israel is the beloved, and God chases the Israelites through the wilderness and eventually abducts them. There was an opera I'm not familiar with, Abduction from the Seraglio. Anybody know that
I've
one?
heard the name.
Yeah,
My dad might know it, but I got love.
Mozart?
yes.
That's Mozart? No.
It could be Mozart, yes. It's a Mozart sort of thing. Okay. All right, let's do it in English. So they love of passion's gentle songs, they my disposition and shape it to your will. Like a darting deer, will I rush to you before your glorious presence. Humbly will I bow. Let your sweet love delight me with its thrill, because no other dainty will my hunger still. Splendor is alive, illuminate the world. My soul is weary and bleeding for your thoughts behind. Please, good God, to me, reveal to her your name. The pleasure of your presence, in your grace, she will find strength and healing in your sight. Forever will she serve you, grateful with all her might. Page 15, this is the first of the 6 Psalms that we do before the Chadodi. Why 6? Because how many days of creation were there? 6. God rested on the 7th day. Okay. Anything else? All right, we'll start up in Hebrew. Lechu niranina, lechu niranina, lechu niranina, l'Adonai. Lechu niranina, lechu niranina, lechu niranina, l'Adonai. Naria, Naria, Suri Shenu, Ekana Joda. Naria, Naria, Suri Shenu, Bizmira Naria Lo. Lechu Niranina, Lechu Niranina, Lechu Niranina, l'Adonai. Lechu Niranina, Lechu Niranina, Lechu Niranina, l'Adonai. Reading silently. And the last 3 lines. Arba'im shana kut midor Aomar Amso ele ba'pein Ein lo yadud ra'ai Asher nishpati v'yahi Im yavon el meluchati. Continuing now. Let's thank you. Let's move on to 19.
Oh, 19.
Yes, we're ambitious. Not 16, next week 16, 19. Yes, 19 is so much better than 16. Wow. Adonai Malach Yirgezu Amin Yoshe Kerubim An Haaretz. The Lord reigns, but the people tremble. He sits between the cherubim, and the earth is established. What do you think of them apples? What is a cherub? It is not a fat little, yes, Paul? Cherubim. They have cherubim in the Bronx.
A little angel.
Yes, yes, we see them on Valentine cards. But in Jewish tradition, cherubim are not funny little fat boys with teeny tiny wings. No, indeed, they have the bodies of lions, the faces of women, the claws of eagles, and the tail that's a snake.
I dated a girl like that.
Yes, yes, very easy to get around. Yes, no problem finding a parking spot. Okay, those are the cherubim. And specifically the cherubim, if you remember the Ark of the Covenant, I have one at home. It's in the box. I never take it out. I don't want to get dusty. It's glass. It's got one of those laser things that goes right through. Some of them are spooky. If you've seen them in the mall, they're very scary. Make Uncle Irving look like Dracula. Anyway, what happens is that the two cherubim face one another, and their faces are down, and their wings are outspread. And for whom are they a footstool?
Oh,
Yes, very good. They are an ottoman for God, which is the only piece of furniture named after an entire nation and historical period. Okay, and that's the cherubim pretty much. Okay, do they breathe fire? No. The difference between and dragons, I do like dragons. Who likes dragons? How can you not love it? Nice dragon.
Like all the Chinese.
Yes, the Chinese dragons are very pleasant and amiable. They have no wings. The Celtic dragons, on the other hand, have wings and a temper. Okay,
And they will fire.
yes, they do. Very easy to keep warm in the winter. Okay, let's move on to the bottom of page 19. Romemu Hashem, Romemu. Just two words, Romemu and Hashem. Romemu Hashem, Romemu. Romemu Hashem, Romemu. Romemu Hashem, Elokeinu. Hashem Elokeinu, Romemu. Let's try that again. Romemu Hashem, Romemu. Romemu Hashem, Romemu. Romemu Hashem Elokeinu. Hashem Elokeinu, Romemu. Ishtachavu, Ishtachavu, Romemu Hashem Eloheinu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu. Romemu Hashem Elokeinu. Romemu Hashem, Romemu. Romemu Hashem, Romemu. Romemu Hashem Elokeinu. Hashem Elokeinu, Romemu. When I was in yeshiva, Yeshiva University, high school and college, man and boy, God, I thought I was never going to graduate from high school. I just thought I'd be the world's oldest living high school student. But they came to me and they said, Mark, we need your plates, you're gone. And I didn't mind. Okay, I went to Yeshiva University, which was a block away. But the point is, whenever they had any joyful event, not religious events, you don't dance on Rosh Hashanah, you don't dance on Yom Kippur. You can dance on Simchat Torah, but don't drop the Torah. Well, we had Israel Independence Day, Yom Ha'atzmaut, which was a big deal, because this was the mid to late 60s, and Israel was riding high. Currently, we won't talk. Okay, so anyway, we would dance. The boys would dance with the boys. We put our arms around each other's shoulders, and we danced and danced. The girls, in the meantime, were parked at a very down the hall room. Okay, boys are here, the girls are there. And then they get married and have 12 dozen children. How do they do that? Certainly not from their dating. It's a miracle. I guess it is. All right.
We probably didn't know it.
Didn't know what caused it? Somewhere along the line they could. Yeah, there's Stern College for women. You know how in Orthodox schools they separate the men from the women? Well, Yeshiva University was on 186th Street. And Stern College for Women was on 34th Street. They used half of Manhattan Island as the machitza to separate the boys from the girls. But sooner or later, some of us got
They
together.
figured it out.
Yes, I was not one of them. I married a girl from Brooklyn rather than a girl from Stern College. My girl went to Brooklyn College, which is different. Okay. All right, we're good. 21.
Oh, 21.
21. Trust me. Okay. Shabbat Imiko Abraha Erosh Miked Nisuha Sopnas Legem Al Shabbat Vila Lecha Lecha Dodi Dodi Lecha Dodi Lecha Kala Shabbat Lecha Vila Lecha Dodi Lecha Kala Amichai, would you get, you and Helena open the, art? Basics, going to
I
show them.
really want you to open it up.
I'll have you close it. Okay, is that all
I
right?
know what time you want me to put on.
I'll let you know. Okay. Am Simcha Luzala, O Emule, Am Segula, O Ikala, O Ikala. Lecha, Lecha, Dodi, Dodi, Lecha, Dodi, Lecha, Kala. Lecha, Shabbat, Lecha, 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 Dodi, Lecha, Kala. All right, you may be seated.
You see this? Oh,
23.
23.
It's more Shilio Mashama. Let's do this responsibly in the English, obviously. It is good to acclaim Adonai, to sing your praise, exalted God, together to affirm your love each morning and your faithfulness each night, to the music of the lute and the melody of the harp. Your works, Adonai, make me glad. I sing with joy of your creation. How vast your works, Adonai. Your design of our grasp. Thoughtless cannot comprehend, the foolish cannot fathom this. The wicked may flourish, springing up like grass. But their doom is sealed, for you are supreme forever. Your enemies, Adonai, your enemies shall perish. All the wicked shall crumble. But me you have greatly exalted. I am anointed with fragrant oil. I have seen the downfall of my foes. I have heard the despair of my attackers. The righteous shall flourish like the palm tree. It shall grow tall like a cedar in Lebanon. Plants in the house of Adonai. They will thrive in the course of our God. They shall bear fruit even in old age. It shall be ever fresh and fragrant. Proclaim Adonai is just, my rock, in whom there is no flaw. Oh, Seva, the Shenim Rananim you, Yakip Yashar Adonai, Suri All right, we can put the siddur on the side.
Not gonna be 24.
It's going, well, you don't need it now, but it'll be on 28.
What are you gonna go from the?
Yes, but not this second. No, first I can look in my remarks. Okay, Pinchas, yes.
I have a question,
Yes, that's amazing. I haven't even said it.
no, I'm sure it's very minor. And I'm very hesitant to even ask, but on the,
What page?
page 19,
19. Well, we have a question.
why don't we say Romamu Adonai Eloheinu?
Because it doesn't fit the two. That's really the only reason.
Oh,
Strange, isn't it, that here you're Hashem and there you're Elohim, man. What can I say? Well, I don't know, Elohim, no, they're too many
like
things.
that's a different thing.
Sorry?
Oh, I was just curious.
Yes. Okay,
Okay.
all right, very good. Pinchas,
What didn't get the, what is,
We're not important.
it's not musical notation, it's beats, the number of beats to the line. Roman Mu, Hashem, Roman Mu. Roman Mu, Hashem, Roman Mu. 8 beats. Roman Mu, Adonai, Eloheinu, 10 beats. It just doesn't fit. Okay, all right. It's the same thing as there's a psalm, gladly the cross-eyed bear. Obviously, it's not one of our psalms. But some people envision a
Cross-eyed there.
cross-eyed bear named Gladly. Yes, okay. All right, Pinchas. Any questions about Pinchas? Pinchas is, no, I haven't said anything. Pinchas, Pinchas later. Pinchas is a zealot and he gets rewarded for it. What happens is, return with me, if you will, to Sodom and Gomorrah. Now, God talks to Abraham. He specifically, it's the first time in the Torah, way back in the book of Genesis, that God says, "Shall I hide from my friend Abraham that which I am doing, namely to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah?" Sodom and Gomorrah were not destroyed because they were Sodomites. No, Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed because they did not practice the mitzvah of Hachnasat Orchim, which is welcoming guests. And Abraham is supposed to find 10 righteous Jews or 10 righteous people. That's why to this day, we can't do a complete service without 10 righteous Jews. We're still looking for these people. Yes.
They include women among the 10 righteous.
No. Women were sufficient for making babies, cleaning the house, and stuff like that. The not only the Torah, but Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, they're all boys' clubs made by and for boys only. I don't know when it happened in Islam. I'm sure in many countries they're still waiting. Christianity, I think with the Protestant Reformation, you start getting a little inkling of equality for women. But then, boom, along comes maybe 1 month ago, and the Southern Baptist Convention decided that if you worship in a church that is headed by a female, you are no longer in the convention, which is forward to yesterday. And finally, Judaism. It turns out that the first woman rabbi was back in the 1930s. Regina Jonas was her name. Sadly, she died in Auschwitz, but she is considered the first woman rabbi. And since then, I'm pretty sure every incoming rabbinical school class has at least three-fourths women. That's the way it goes. I think so. Yes.
As I was saying, I know that Hebrews has 24 out of their life.
22.
Oh, 22?
Yes.
And Chinese,
We're not doing
food
checks.
at,
We
you
can't
know,
do checks.
You
Tell me later. Tell me
They
later.
have some.
I have to do both of those.
They have like a woman.
Laura, don't let me send you out.
Oh, okay.
Back to Pinchas. Anyway, so there we are in Sodom and Gomorrah. Here we are in Sodom and Gomorrah, and Abraham or Lot or whomever, his nephew Lot or whoever there is not able to find 10 righteous people. So God says, okay, sorry, going to destroy the town, both towns. And we don't know how exactly God destroys Sodom and Gomorrah. Could have been an earthquake, could have been a meteor shower. I would go with an earthquake, frankly, because we know where they were. They were near the Dead Sea. And the Dead Sea, we know geographically, is the lowest point on Earth. So that must have been a heck of an earthquake. All right. Meantime, God says to Lot, well, the angel says to Lot, you have to leave. So it's Lot. The Lot family consists of Lot, Mrs. Lot, and the two Lotettes, as I call them, the daughters, who also have no names. Older one, younger one. They're just the daughters of Lot. And they escape. Oh, here we go. This is multiple choice. If you are about to escape from your town, which is about to be devastated by an earthquake, meteor shower, what have you, what do you take with you? Number one, the 48-inch television. Number two, some prepared sandwiches. Number three, 2 skins of wine.
The last one.
Okay. Yes, well, that's what they really do. But the practicality of the thing is really escapes me. But, they find, oh, as they're running away, Mrs. Lot does a mistake. She looks back and is immediately changed into a pillar of salt. Salt, yes, not chopped liver, not gefilte fish, salt. Now that has some truth to it, because we know that the area around the Dead Sea, which is so heavily salted, there are natural sculptures made out of salt. And it's altogether possible that some traveler said, hey, that looks like a woman. Oh, that's not just a woman. That is Mrs. Lot. You see, this is how legends get started, and eventually they wind up with it. Well, they escape. Poor old Mrs. Lot is he's changed, transformed into a pillar of salt. And where do the rest of the family go? Papa and the 2 girls. A nearby cave, which is really a very good place if you're waiting for the end of the world. And Papa is so tired that he guzzles enough wine to sink a moose, and he goes schlucking. The 2 girls, meanwhile, have planning to do. And the elder says to the younger, listen, we are obviously the last 3 people on Earth, but we have to propagate the species. And the younger sister says, what's that? And she says, make babies. Oh, okay. Well, there's no man here except Papa. Well, this is what we're going to do. We'll get Papa drunk. And the first night I will sleep with him, says the elder. And the next night you will sleep with him. And nobody says we shouldn't do this. Maybe God will send an angel. Maybe we'll get on one of those single webcasts, whatever it
I
is.
don't think to look over the hill on the other side of the mountain to see
Right.
maybe there's somebody there.
Right, well, once again, they're in shock. I mean, if New York City blew away, I would be very upset. I don't think I would do what they did, but it's upsetting. It really is very upsetting. So what ends up happening is that one of them, the elder, gives birth to a baby whom they call Moab, and the younger gives birth to a baby called Lo Ami. Moab means from father. It's very similar to when you might have been in the playground in school and some kid made a remark about somebody else's parents. Except now it's encapsulated in the Torah. And secondly, Lo Ami means not my people, because once again, we don't want to talk about who Papa was. That these 2 tribes came as a result of incest. Okay, fast forward. Now we're in the wilderness of Sin. Not sin, Zin, yes, Paul.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. The wilderness of Zin. And the Moabites happen to infest the area. And they do that whole business we talked about last week about the talking donkey and all that. We're already past that. What the women of Moab have done is they decide to seduce the Israelite men. Ironically, Israelite men are remarkably seducible, and they do that. Now, in one instance, what happens is that, what's his name? Zimri, he is an Israelite prince, and he has a paramour. I think her name is Cosby. Very easy to remember. Okay, all right, Cosby. And they are doing what comes naturally right there in front of the sanctuary. And along comes Pinchas. Pinchas takes, Vayikach Pinchas Romach. Pinchas takes a lance, not just a spear, but an 8-foot long wooden lance with a bronze tip. And he skewers them. It's the shish kebab maftir. I don't like it. I didn't read it. I didn't write it. It's there. We have to deal with it. But in the end, God comes forward and says, I'm going to reward Pinchas because he was zealous for my sake. Is that the sort of activity we want to reward?
No.
No, of course not. But this is how they thought. They really thought in terms of tribal integrity. We have to preserve the tribe. And the Israelites were among the smallest tribes. So they had to build their numbers, which means you do what they call endogamous marriage. You don't go looking to Ammonites or Moabites or Hittites or Hivites. Yes.
Well, you know what? That's kind of what the Germans do too.
As far as what?
Well,
I see.
the ones who were not.
No, I understand completely, but they learned their racism from American sources. They got literature from the Ku Klux Klan. I don't like this, but at some point or other, we have to not explain it away, but say, look what happened. Let's learn from it. Because what ends up happening is that God rewards Pinchas. He gives him a permanent stake in the kahuna, in the priesthood, and furthermore, Pinchas is probably the best known of all the Torah portions because it contains paragraphs that deal with every single Jewish holiday. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Simchat Torah, Shavuot, Pesach, all of them. Many synagogues, we do, keep a Torah permanently turned to Pinchas. That's what we use the silver Torah in this art. And it's just the way it is. I think we enrich our lives by reading this stuff and saying, okay, we're not doing that anymore. Obviously, I don't even think it might not have happened then either. You see, it could be just a story. Yes, Lord. No, Hanukkah is post-biblical. Oh, the Hanukkah we use Nasa. Okay, and the Torah was already written by the scribes by the time Hanukkah came along.
So what passage still we read?
Well, it's not a yontif. If when the yontif comes.
So do we read all of Pinchas?
Oh, no. Oh, okay. For Hanukkah, we read Nasa. Because every day of Nasa, every day the tribes came and dedicated the shrine. And the next day, every day, the tribes came and dedicated the shrine. And we use the first 8 of those. There are 12.
So what part of Pinchas do we read on these holidays?
There are paragraphs. It just lists all the sacrifices and offerings that were made. It's we sing one of them. Yom HaShabbat Shnei Chavasim B'nei Shanat Yamim. And on the Sabbath day, you will sacrifice 2/10 of a hin of incense, and two sheep, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so you have similar statements like that because we don't offer sacrifices anymore, and that's why we read these paragraphs. Technically, if you read the paragraph, you get the same credit as if you had made the offering, and you save the life of the sheep, 2 sheep. Okay. All right, and that's that. Oh, Joshua is going to take over after Moses retires. He never retires. Absolutely. Moses is the consummate workaholic. I always have pictures of him wandering through the wilderness, wearing his priestly robe, his prophetic robes, and holding his little attaché case and saying, I think I'll take tomorrow off. Maybe Tzipora will let me sleep late. And he turns around and there are over 600,000 men behind him. It's a total of 1.5 million people, if you extrapolate. Yes, Paul.
No, I'm just looking,
Yes, we are rich in Pauls. Yes.
Yeah,
Paul in the
the other
back.
Paul right there.
Paul in the back.
Oh,
Oh, that Paul's
Okay, but if you have any questions, I'm glad.
Yeah, I know, it's interesting to me. Now, Zimri was a Hebrew
Yes,
and Cosby was a Moabite.
Moabite.
Yes, so in this case, they were executed or copulated. But
Yeah.
yet, there are many instances in the Torah, aren't there, where Hebrew men married Canaanite women.
That is exactly correct.
All through the Torah.
Right,
Including the David and Bathsheba, she wasn't Hebrew.
Yes,
She
and
married a Hittite.
that's Ruth. Ruth was a Moabite, and she became a great grandmother of David.
Yeah, and Delilah was Philistine.
Yeah, but she wasn't the kind of woman you want people to date.
Well, she was good enough for Samson.
He was not, and Samson was slow. With all due respect. I mean, he was important in his day, but he did nothing but get into trouble. I'm not criticizing. I'm sure Delilah was a lovely person. Yes, as long as you favor the Philistine side. It's controversy because these are people living their lives in the shadow of God. And the drama, that's why I love this stuff. See, Jews should read more from Joshua through Second Chronicles, rather than always focusing on the 5 books. And the 5 books are important, but not the be all and end all.
So they're really, a lot of the behavior is really human behavior.
Yes, right. Here we are at the beginning of the book of Ruth. They leave Israel because of famine. Israel was always having famines. They had very irregular rainfall. You want rainfall, you want fertility, go to Egypt. My goodness. I mean, every year the Nile rose like clockwork. There was nothing like that in Israel. In Israel, if you wanted it to rain, there was this fellow called Choni Hama'agal, Choni the circle maker. And they would say, Choni, we need rain. And he would take his walking stick and make a circle on the ground, step into the circle and say, Lord God, I'm not leaving the circle till you send rain. And what did God do? Send rain. Amazing. It works every time. I've tried doing it, doesn't work. Okay. All right, we're good. I don't blame it on me. Okay, I didn't do that. I'm not stepping in circles right now. Okay. He would also ask God to stop. Yeah. All right, please rise. Laura, would you like to open the curtain?
Sure. I want to put, my grandmother, my mother, it's not over.
Oh, one.
I'll tell you that.
Okay.
I don't go for this one.
Yes, both is fine.
Oh, how far?
That's as far as you don't go away. All right, we bow towards the ark. We're on page 28. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Close the curtain gently, gently. One at a time. You got it. Very good. Okay, thanks.
What about you?
No, we're gonna leave those open till the end.
Really?
Please be seated. Sure. Ma'avir yomu levi laila, ma'avir ben yomu ben laila, Adonai tzvaot shelo, El chai v'kayam, tamid imloch aleinu leolam voed, Baruch ato Adonai, Amari Baravim, page 29, Avat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amchavta, Ram Mitzvot, Mishpatim, Otanu L'Adeta, Alkein Adonai Eloheinu, Yishameinu v'kudeinu, Nasiach v'chukecha, Nisman v'divrei Toratecha, U'b'mitzvotecha, V'yolam bo'ed. Ein Chayenu, Yorech Yameinu, Yorech Yameinu, U'lahem, Yeged Yomam Alayla, Ya'amatcha Tasir, Imenu Li'olamim, Imenu Li'olamim, Baruch Adonai, Ovevamo Yisrael. Page 30, cover the eyes. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Eloheinu. Uncover the eyes. Shem Yehod, Malchuto Leolam Moed. Let's read the English paragraph. You shall love on the left-hand side. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. And these words which I command you this day, you shall take to heart. Teach them diligently to your children. Recite them at home and away, night and day. Bind them as a sign upon your hand, as a reminder above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your homes and on your gates. 32. Okay, in the heavy print, the Miachamocha, transliterated on the left. Miachamocha, Ha'elim Adonai, Miachamocha, Nedor Ba'kodesh, Torah Tzilot, Osei Le'eleh, Aruvanecha, Okayam Lefnei Moshe, Daily honor the Amru, I love the Olam Moed, in Nevar, Yifat Adonai et Yaakov, Ugyalom Yad Chazak Mimenu, Oru Ata Adonai, Goal Yisrael. Amen. Page 33. Thinking about the folks in need of refuah shlema, quick and speedy recovery. I will read the list and then I'll call the names. Jeffrey Stern, refuah shlema. Rachel Spiro, refuah shlema. Joel Friedberg, refuah shlema. Juan Ho, refuah shlema. A.B. Eli Jacob, refuah shlema. Norma Fogel, refuah shlema. Robert Tilson, refuah shlema. Dr. Marie Lichtenstein, refuah shlema. Inez Pasher, refuah shlema. And Sherry Redland, before she made it. Next, Lauren Nobel, before she made it. Yes, thank you. Yes, before she made it. Before she made it. Before she made it. Before she made it. Anyone else? Let's read together the English paragraph, top left on 33. Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace, and awaken us again, our sovereign to life. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us in your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, O God.
Logitech sound.
Watches over
Pretty
us
good.
and delivers us.
My
Our gracious
Logitech.
and merciful. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praise you, Adonai. Spread the shelter of peace over us, over all his people Israel, over Jerusalem and the entire world. Os Aleinu, Sukat Shlomeh, Baruch Atah Adonai, Praise Sukat Shalom, Aleinu, Dial Kol Amo Yisrael. Yal Yerushalayim, Yal Kol Haolam Kulo. Amen. 34. Vishamru in Israel et Hashabat. Et Hashabat Lidorot Brit Olam. Vishamru in Israel. Et Hashabat, Lasot et Hashabat, Lidorot Haberit Olam. Neinu ve'im b'nei Yisrael, Oti liolam, Oti liolam, Oti liolam. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael, et Hashabat, Lasot et Hashabat, Lidorot Haberit Olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, et hashamayim, et haaretz vishamru b'nei Israel, et hashabat, Lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotav v'itolah. Uvayom hashvi Shabbat v'nafash Shabbat v'nafash Shabbat v'nafash v'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat. Lasot et ha-Shabbat l'dorotav v'itolah. Please rise, have Kaddish, Father 34. Yitkadal, Yitkadash, Shemerabo, Amen. Yom Divrach Hirute, Yamlich Malchute, V'chayechon Yomechon, Uvchayechon Yisrael, Agala, Agala, Uvizman Kariv, Bimeru, Amen. Yehishmei Rabba Mevorach, Leolam Leol Meol Maya, Yitbarach, Yitbarach, Yishtabach, Yitboar Vitromam Vidnase, Yitadar, Yitaleh, Yitala. Shemei Kudisha Brihu V'Ela Intel Birchata B'Shirata Tushbechata V'Nefemata Tamiran B'Alema V'Meru Amen. Yamidah 35b to 38. When you're done, you may be seated. All right, page 48. Yitkadal Vikadal Shimle Rabba Yom Divrach Hirute Vimnech Machute V'chayechon V'nechon V'chayechon Beit Yisrael Avalov Isman Kohir Vimru Amen Yehishmei Rabba Velora Yolam Neol Negol Maya Yitkadal Bishtabach Bipor Vitrumam Yinase Dar Vitala Vitala Shmei Kudisha Rehu in Lavin Kovet Hatsav Shirata Vishpata V'Nechamata Damiran Vilma Vimru Amen Kabal Tzlaton Uvuton the Yisrael Kedem avod geshmaya v'imru. Amen. Shalom Rabba min Shemaya. L'chaim alerva ko Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Use shalom v'imrova. Uyase shalom aleinu. V'al kol Yisrael. Amen. Yase shalom. Yase shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yase shalom. Yase shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yase shalom. Yase shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yase shalom. Yase shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'al kol yoshvei tevel. Imru amen. Right, take a couple of minutes to give out the wine and the juice. And we're turning to page 49, Kiddush.
Yeah.
That'll work.
What you told me last time was wine on the side.
So, Lornan, Rabbanan, Rabbatai. To Adonai. Elohim melech haolam. V'arei pri hagafen. Amen. To Adonai. Elohim melech haolam. Asher kishan tzvatzal asavanu. Shabbat kadsho v'yahava u'traso. Inchilanu. Zikaro na'aseh v'reshit. Iluyot tehillah. Lemikvah kodesh. Zecher Yitziat Mitzrayim. Adu b'chalav Adu kidashtam. B'kol parim. Shabbat nachifam. Baruch atah Adonai, Ikadesh Hashem. Amen. I am the shalom of symptoms. Okay, page 51 is the Aleinu. Yes. Leland, would you like to open the art for the Aleinu?
Page 51.
Uh-huh. Shabbat Nako Bate Dula Yotze Brechit Shelo Asanu Igoye Hamatzot Ilo Samanu Mishpachot Adama Shelo Sam Elkeinu Kahem Igor Aleinu K'dichol Amonam Anu Korim Ishachavim Odim Lifnei Melech Alkei Elohim HaKadosh Baruch Hu Unote Shamayim V'yosei La'aretz Umosha B'karov Hashamayim Imah Pushtin Atuzo Pushtin Atuzo Yigabe V'rovi Hu Eloheinu Einod Emet Malkeinu Efes Ulato Right, the ark is closed, doors as well. Mourner's Cottage, page 52. Yit Gadal, Yit Kadash, Shemei Rava, Amen. Yal Ba Divrach, Irute, Yamdiach Machute. V'chaye Chol, V'vei Chol, V'chaye D'chol Beit Yisrael. V'agalo, V'zman Kaviv Imru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rava, Mevorach, Yilamo Leomaya. Yivorach, Yishtabach, Yivar V'trolam V'yitnaseh. Yitadar, Yitale, Yitalal, Shmei Dekudisha, B'reichu. The Elam and Kol Chata V'shirata, Tushbe Chata V'nechemata, Ramiran V'alma V'yivru, Amen. Yehi Shalama Rabba Min Shemaya, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael V'yivru, Amen. Ose Shalom V'mramav, Huya Se Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'al Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'yivru, Amen. Please be seated. Now a few well-chosen words from our temple president.
Good Shabbos, everyone. Wonderful, wonderful to see you here. I miss you very much. And tonight I want to welcome our brand new member, Paul. Welcome, Paul.
Happy to be here.
Welcome. We're very happy to have you here. Those of you who are at home, good Shabbos. Come in and join us sometime. It's really nice here. We are getting ready already for high holidays that are fast coming upon us in about 8 more weeks. And with the help of our wonderful congregation, Joni and I are getting prepared. So it's good. The holidays are going to be beautiful this year. Our Bima project will be finished this year with the Embrace the Torah project. All of our beautiful white velvet and gold cloths are coming in. Leland, your cloth is in. Tomorrow, I'll be at home waiting for a delivery of our curtains for the ark and of our Ben Gavra for covering the Torah when Rabbi is laning. So that's the finishing touch on the Bima project that you've all participated in, and it's just going to be magnificent. I promise you. There's a lot of hard work that goes into it. If anyone wants to volunteer to help us out in the office, just let us know what you'd like to do or that you're available, and we'll book you in for a job. Don't worry. I want to let you know that next Friday night, this service is going to be on Zoom only. Cantor Javier is going to be conducting it on Zoom only. And I just want you to know Doreen is going to post that on the website, and there'll be the link to get you into that service. It'll only be that one Friday night. So there'll be no live services next Friday. Don't come to Shul next Friday. You can watch on Zoom. Oh, I'm sorry, but just don't come to Shul. But
Is it actually cool down for the Saturday to be actual?
well, we'll make a prayer. We'll pray for it to be cooler and,
Yeah,
you know.
you come on Saturday, it needs to be cool in the afternoon.
Laura.
But right now, you need to know that next Friday night, you stay home, so you're not here all by yourself. That's important to us, that you stay safe. Not now, not now,
No
not now,
questions.
not now, not now, Laura. So, our regularly scheduled events will be on the web. So, and I do want to tell you something exciting. Because of Amichai and Helena, we met someone incredible. A lovely, lovely young woman, who I hope will be in to do, a talk in the fall after holidays on Reconstructionist Judaism, which is a very, very interesting subject. Our rabbi has spoken about it before, and we're very excited to have her with us. I hope that happens, but I want to thank you for bringing her to us, because meeting her was a great pleasure.
Did you follow up
No,
with references to
no,
congregations that may been?
no.
I'll get
No,
out.
I did correspond. I wrote right away. I sent you I forwarded a letter that I sent to her, but if you'll follow up for her, that would be wonderful. We're looking forward to having new experiences in our shul, and anyone who comes to our shul already knows it's the sweetest shul on the planet, so I don't have to say more than that. A good Shabbos to all of you.
in Shabbat.
Oh, yeah. All right, we have the Adon Olam, sitting there, all
What
kinds of,
page?
54, all kinds of Broadway show tunes going through my head. And I'm gonna leave them alone, and we'll just do the tried and true tune. Adon Olam Asher Olam B'terem Kol Yitzir Livra Li'ed Nasa V'Chefso Kol Azai Melech Shemodi Ravi Acharei Yichlot HaKol Deva'atu Yimloch Nora Ehu Chaya Ehu Omer Ehu Yeh V'Tifara Ehu Echad V'Yein Sheni Lehamshilo Lehachbira V'li Reshit V'li Tachlit V'lohos V'hamitzra V'hu Eli V'chai Goali V'zur Chedli V'yetzara V'hu Nisi Umanosli V'natfosi V'yopek V'yado Afki Ruchi V'yetin Shan V'yahira V'ruchi V'yati Adonai Li V'lo Yikra. Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom. Please rise for the closing benediction. Yivarecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. And Lord bless you and keep you. Yo'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. And Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha yasem lecha shalom. And Lord turn his face unto you and grant you peace. We'll say Amen.
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom. Good Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.